What's up guys, it's Jughead here, just a down-to-earth guy trying to bring you some down-to-earth content. Welcome back to my Let's Watch Hunter x Hunter series. Today we are watching episode 42, Defend and Attack. Episode 41 wasn't so jam-packed with action as much as it was with character and world building. So with a title like Defend and Attack, are we going to be getting some action this time around? Gon and Killua, they gotta find a way to make some moolah. They lost almost all of their money last episode trying to reach the almost 10 billion price tag for a Greed Island game at the auction. You know, they could steal it. This show don't have any morals, so it's not like it's a bad thing, but they're trying to afford it through financial means. They lost almost all of it last episode. They gotta make some moolah back before the auction begins. Let's see how they do that. Kurapika, hired as a bodyguard for our new introduced character, Neon. Kurapika is defending Neon, who in my opinion, in terms of imagination and creativity, has the craziest Nen ability I've seen so far. Lovely ghostwriter, fortune telling, Tagashi, Jesus Christ. Neon is at the peak, top of the food chain in terms of Nen abilities so far. Has me super excited. Like I said, you just don't know when to be comfortable or when you're just going to get surprised and just picked up off your feet again and be like, you don't know anything. But Phantom Troupe is also moving in. We got introduced to all 13 spiders, all 13 members of the Phantom Troupe. The only name we don't know, I believe, is the leader so far. Leorio, where are you at? At a certain point, all our cast, all of our characters, our entire cast has to come together. All paths have to lead to this tangential point where shit just goes off. I don't know how many episodes until that happens, but within that time, Leorio has to show up. So Gon and Killua have to make their money. Kurapika's off doing his own thing. Leorio has to arrive in Yorknew at some point. So I think that's just what we're going to be seeing. I don't want to talk anymore. I just want to get into this. I'm back from my vacation, so I'm just super eager and excited and happy to be doing this again. I may be scratching my back ever so often because I don't know how. I don't burn easily despite being Polish, German, this European skin. My skin is pretty strong against the sun. My back, not this time. Now, I do put a majority of my sunscreen on my tattoos. I must have just neglected my back, but it was bad. A few days ago, it would have just been hard to sit in this chair, but I think we're doing better now. You know, when your skin starts to heal and just gets super itchy, it's torturous. But I digress. It's Hunter x Hunter time. I will see you in like 3 seconds. So, Hunter x Hunter, episode 42. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Having said that, 3, 2, 1. Let's watch, shall we? I'm an idiot. I didn't switch my audio over so you guys can hear. I have done that now. This is Yorknew City. September 1st. Oh, okay. The day they all decided to reunite in Yorknew City. Kurapika's not going to be able to do that, I don't believe. Not like he can just get up and leave. Just abandon his bodyguard duties. So I don't expect to see him. But Leorio, I do expect to see. Yeah, they're even saying they need to find a way to get some money. Again, Gon, coming from Whale Island, has no idea just the grand scale things can get. Tens of trillions of Jenny. But we're more concerned about the underground auction. It's all about the flip, the hustle. This is where dreams come true. Yep. I like all the happy music in the background because you know it ain't gonna be this happy. People are gonna die. Get that iPhone. Or the Android. Who cares? Hey, don't get scammed. Ooh, Leorio? Hey, my boy. My boy Leorio. He's smart, which can help in some places. That's useful. I'd much rather go for that. Oh, they got money though. They got money. They got money. Oh, I forgot they don't really got any money anymore. But he's got money. But he's still kind of cheap. That was nothing. He's smart, but I want to know how useful he's going to be, considering he doesn't, I don't assume he's, what? Oh yeah, we got a whole lot of filling in. And they're just little kids. We know... Nen, what is that? Oh, he did? He did? Whoa. Whoa, I'm surprised. Oh, did he only learn... Oh, yeah, he didn't learn shit in medical school. How did he learn that, though? Oh, what the hell happened to my captions? Hey, well, don't be doing that to me. I need to read. Because that's where his father is. Well, that definitely answers the question. Leorio is going to be kind of useless. Physically. Intellectually, he can hold up. 10 billion. We made some bad investments. That ain't even getting you in the door. Yep. That's what he told us right in the beginning. Yeah, see, look at me scratching my back. Oh. Yeah, you really can't be considered a hunter if you can't even snag this. Money's really gonna get in your way? Well, that's the weirdest Google I've ever seen. You should do it like the Dragon Ball route where you just fight people, and then Goku came along and just kicked everybody's ass. Not even for the money, but just wanted to fight somebody. Uh-oh, he's coping through eating not good. What happened? He's looking worse for Rare. He ain't looking too good. Oh, did it not work? Oh, he's heading there too. He said he hasn't left Kukuru Mountain. Yeah, he hasn't left in a long time. That'll be interesting. What'll happen to Milluki? Because when you're that desperate, when you're that lustful, Your guard comes down, you make stupid mistakes. I don't think you'll die, but something crazy will happen. Leorio's a little weird. I haven't seen him in a long time. He's a little weird. Okay, the mummy will be auctioned off tomorrow. So it's already starting. Only yourselves. Okay, the mafia runs the auction. Yeah, but there's gonna be some trouble. Everything inside is business. Leave all that petty shit out. Okay, okay, okay. That's what I said is Kurapika's biggest advantage. Anonymity. Don't gather any unwanted attention or nothing. Don't talk to nobody. Don't do shit. The mission begins. Hell yeah. Tomorrow, in terms of story, next episode, people are dying. It's gonna be a massacre. Oh, arm wrestling? Yep. Hey, you got to floor 200. Try and fight this kid, this innocent kid. What an easy fight. Yeah, you can't make it look too easy. Yeah, you can't make it, you gotta put on a show a bit. Again, there's no morals in this show, so who the hell cares? Who cares about a scam? So, struggle a little bit. Hey, Leorio's a hustler. Respect. You know, struggle a little bit. And then, wha-chow! Don't fake. He's gonna go flying. Come on. Come on. What a good actor. Gon is a good actor. Yeah, you just lost 10,000 and your pride. Yeah, you're gonna have to fight a lot of people. It's gonna take a while. You haven't made a dent. Who's gonna come up? Hey, hey. There's no morals. Is that... Ma. Break my arm. Step on me. Spit on me. Beat the ever-living shit out of me. I'll still simp. I'll still fuck with you. Oh, this is gonna be Nen versus Nen. Gon's gonna be stronger though, because Enhancer is gonna beat out whatever she is. I don't think she's an Enhancer. So he's gonna win. But when he wins, Shizuku is going to be telling the Phantom Troupe, hey, watch out for this kid right here. This kid is something special. This is a Nen user and a strong one. He's remembering her, and she's remembering him. Yeah, that's a Nen user. Sexy Velma. I don't know. I'm down bad. I need to stop talking. Oh wait, why does why would her left arm be stronger? Yeah, if you really wanted that diamond, you would just fucking take it. Oh, there's her throwing that tantrum that nobody can stop her. Phantom Troupe? Yep, there they go. I love the music in this arc. This music fits the tone so much better. Perfectly. The hot air balloon is an interesting choice, but dude, I got chills. Those two creepy people. Douchebag. Tits out. Ahsoka is biding his time, just chilling. Waiting for his time to strike. Her tantrum has subsided. She tired herself out. Yeah. Yeah, but she doesn't remember the fortune she tells. So she wouldn't know that, hey, people are gonna fucking die tomorrow. And she can't tell her own fortune, so she wouldn't even know if she'd live or die. All is normal. They gonna have a bonding moment? I feel like the two of them will be friends and allies. Yeah, but who's gonna do anything? It's underground, but it's not like you need to hide. Can you feel that hear that heartbeat? Yep. Sings a melody of rage. Or whatever she said. Oh, see? My memory's too good. Oh. Is this going to be a heart-to-heart moment? Or is Kurapika going to stand by his rationale? A melody of boundless fury. Oh, are you gonna let the truth out? Oh, damn, just telling the truth like that? Oh, he wears contacts. Ah. Is that why nobody else can see them? No, secret safe with me. A heartbeat is always honest. Yeah. Curiosity. Oh. They both know a liar. Oh, yeah. Okay, I was right. Music hunter. A certain oh, okay. Are we gonna find out why Melody's the way they are? She is. Because remember, I said that voice does not match the image. I'm looking for the Dark Sonata. Oh shit! We're getting some lore here. A solo said to have been composed by the devil. There are 4 versions: the piano, violin, flute, and harp. If a human plays or listens to the piece, it's said that disaster will befall them. She must have heard it. She must have been a gorgeous girl. And then she listened to it, and that happened to her. Hey, dude, you're really doubting certain shit can exist? Do you know the world you're living in? Ew. Okay, the silhouette of that just looked fucking disgusting. One. Oh my god. If you play the music, you're fucking fucked. She just heard one movement of the song. I want to hear that one more time. Excuse me. Yeah, played the music, they died. She simply heard the music. Her body was destroyed, but he gained, it's like a curse. She wants to restore her body to her former youth and beauty, willing to do anything. Destroy it. Does that lift the curse? That's true, yeah. Though she's not a bad person. Like, I don't think she's a killer or heartless or anything, so it must be hard for her to work in the underworld. It'll change her, maybe. God damn it. Oh my god. So many people are gonna die. What did I say? Beza's gonna die. I don't know who else, but so many people. Oh my god. So, let's discuss. Here's what I'll say right out the gate with this episode. I've uncovered a major problem I have with this anime. It's getting really repetitive. I'm sorry, but it's becoming so repetitive. There's only so many different ways I can say, holy shit, another amazing episode, and Jesus Christ, I love this show. Two things stood out big time. One, Madhouse is firing on all fucking cylinders. They're batting 1,000 right now. They pretty much couldn't be doing anything more perfect. They can do no wrong right now. Now that the Yorknew arc and the auction plot has finally begun, the chaos we've witnessed ensue and will continue to bear witness to, everything I have been looking forward to, everything you have been looking forward for me to get to, I just couldn't help but think and feel like, wow. I know Hunter x Hunter is a beloved series. I can only imagine how amazing back in 2011, with every new episode each week, it must have been to witness for the first time in HD and modern animation technology such a legendary manga be given such a grade A S tier class, first class act adaptation it no doubt deserves. Kind of makes it even more sad to think it may never get or attain a proper ending. But let's stay positive here. And two, I think only once have I ever complained about pacing in this series. If you remember from a long time ago, the only episode I ever complained about, I think, it's the only one that I can remember, pacing and being kind of bored, was I think the episode on Zevil Island, the one right before the episode where Gon saves Leorio from the cave. And that was what? Episode 13, 14, somewhere around there, I believe, way back during the Hunter exam arc. Since then, and especially noticeable and admirable in this 20 so minutes, the storytelling experience in terms of pacing and timing, perfect. It does everything right for me. One would maybe think, oh, in episode just about Gon and Killua trying to earn some money, arm wrestling competitions, and some dialogue between characters, I expect it to be slow paced and kind of a lull compared to where we just were and where we are soon going. But no, not at all. This has to be one of the longest streaks of amazing zero complaint episodes in anime. And to think it's only going to keep going from here on out in this arc, this goes hand in hand with my joke I just tried to get y'all with at the start. What we really gain from experiencing each episode one by one, dedicating a full watch through together and an in depth discussion afterwards, is witnessing and acknowledging just the extent of various styles, attitudes, tones, themes, whatever other things you want to add in there. And because of this, it only gets repetitive revering the show with the same compliments. You run out of words, you run out of adjectives, but the show itself never becoming repetitive. Each individual episode almost never covers the same ground twice, is what I'm trying to say. The footsteps we trek are never are never through those previously made already, if you get my metaphor. I can give a really obvious and perfect example to this. What I mean by Hunter x Hunter's ability to successfully explore a wide, draping, enveloping shroud or veil of tones, themes, attitudes, but better yet, I'll use the word mood instead. Mood and vibe. This episode strikes this chord perhaps the hardest and most clear in the series so far, at least in a long while. This is one singular anime, reasonably and objectively speaking, what is on your screen, whether it be a phone, a computer monitor, a TV, can only be one show at a time. You watch this episode, for example, and it instead genuinely feels as though you're watching two different stories, two series. When Kurapika appears on screen, you are witnessing and experiencing an almost entirely separate story. This dark side to Kurapika's existence has been there since the beginning. We knew and acknowledged it ever since we first met him on the boat. His nature slowly expounding itself until now, where I believe near total transformation has arrived. Literally, like a storm up above, a shroud of darkness hangs over Kurapika and every scene we find him in. One doesn't need explanation. Just through visuals alone, heavy color palettes, and ominous overtones, let alone the almost uneasy silences, that this is a Kurapika scene or a direct connection to his personal arc. Pull a 180, total opposite side of the spectrum, balance the scales on the other side. You couldn't ask for a more stark contrast. Look at Gon and Killua together for the better part of a dozen episodes or so. Flashing lights of Heaven's Arena, roaring crowds, traveling on the high seas, saturated nature, colorful displays, radiant sunshine. Their scenes are bright, fully lit. There is an energy to their presence and existence wherever they go, practically overflowing the bezels of your screen that you're watching on. The sunshine and rainbows happy time is even further expressed with our long-awaited reunion with Leorio. While Gon and Killua are embracing a dearly missed good friend in his return here in Yorknew, Kurapika is on guard, still practically oozing with a yearning, almost lust for revenge, and essentially alone. The juxtaposition is entirely palatable and frankly uncanny. I joke about Leorio. I roast him a little bit. I think we all do. But having him back, I realized how much I do enjoy his character. I did really miss him. His dynamic is special. Leorio adds such a unique sense of levity and lightheartedness you don't receive in the same way from the others. Maybe this is more noticeable only now that we've gone through and witnessed such trials and tribulations. Like what is the phrase you don't appreciate until it's gone, something along those lines. To me, it's a lot. Oh, you don't realize what you lost until it's gone. That is the idea here. To me, it's a lot to do with the older brother, big older brother energy and vibes given off by Leorio. Though I will contend he definitely plays that little brother role quite often too. The cell phone sequence scene on the surface seems like nothing. And I'm sure a lot of people, regular viewers and other YouTubers even, maybe just let this play out on screen with little to no thought in mind. Not me, though. We analyze and expand upon everything here. The cell phone scene conveys a great representation of our three characters. Gon has never owned a cell phone before, aligning with that outdoorsy, rustic, natural simplicity that was his upbringing, where the need for a cell phone, let alone the desire to afford or own one, was non existent on Whale Island. Killua, on the other hand, Kukuru Mountain being a Zoldyck, money has never and will never be any object to him or his family. Surrounded with and by every gadget and toy he could think of, living on this grand estate. Unlike Gon and Killua, from his own childhood, Leorio has actually legitimately known the difficulties, even painful realities of poverty, or at the very least, being utterly strapped for cash. Therefore, he's obviously money minded, with a present fixation, almost obsession with the value or mileage of a dollar and money in general as a result of that personal history. Trust him to have the best understanding of the bazaar, the marketplaces, with his business entrepreneurial bargaining hustler instincts already ingrained and long honed. We haven't seen him in quite a while, but he is exactly how we remember him. Street smart, super pragmatic, straightforward, vocal, and theatrical. His wisdom and experience shines in moments like these. He fits in and manages with general society probably best. But coins have two sides, and it's just as equally apparent what and where he is lacking in his abilities and status as a hunter. He merely owns a license and that's it. In other words, useless in that regard, and I don't want to use that word because I do like Leorio. If this makes sense, Leorio is the best non-hunter. But obviously Killua, Gon, and Kurapika are the better hunters. But even though Killua is not technically a hunter. But it's clear Leorio has certainly somehow come across knowledge and awareness of Nen as a concept, but no further. Again, such an esoteric, safeguarded art like Nen, how the hell did Leorio manage to dip one singular pinky toe into learning Nen? Dude, he thought 10 was all there is, and he was so confident with it. Like, bruh, you are a lost cause right now. This might be the last city your ass wanna be found in. Nen ain't something you learn in medical school. Or is it? I don't know. Since aura nodes and aura might be something you learn of the anatomy. If, say, he went to a university for hunters, like hunter medical school, like that could have been where her is her name Machi? I don't remember. Um I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm literally about to cut this video right here because I don't want to get her name wrong. Yes, it was Machi. Like I was saying, that could have been where Machi learned her Nen stitches. I don't know, just an idea. But he pretty much only knows the word Nen, if that, and that's it. Doesn't even know what it means, though. So when shit hits the fan, I don't see how Leorio will serve as any help whatsoever. I also found it interesting enough to want to point out very quickly the phone they chose can translate at least 200 or so languages. Very useful. Meaning, at least 200 languages exist in this world, yet we haven't encountered any language barriers yet, or one single person who speaks another tongue. Just wanted to put that out there as an aside, as a footnote. Also, love that quick line from Leorio. It always comes back to money. The world runs on money. Directly going back to when he was running up those steps and first having that heart-to-heart with Kurapika. Hey, he ain't wrong. I don't think it's pessimistic to think that. I think that makes you a realist. Like, simply accepting that as a truth, as unfortunate you want to see that, doesn't really matter. Like, to the point there, I believe the same thing, but it's like to the point that there ain't even any negative emotions or attitudes towards a statement like that. Yeah, money makes the world go round. It's more so just like, yep, that's how it's been. That's how it is. It's how it's gonna be. And life goes on. And it's just good to have that awareness. Kind of, truth ain't what you want it to be. It is what it is. And you either bend to its power or you live a lie. That goes to all truths. I hope to get an opportunity at some point to maybe explore the concept of desire, maybe money or materials. I have some philosophical opinions and beliefs I think would be very cool to talk about. Philosophy, existentialism, stuff like that is something I really like to talk about and kind of weave into these discussions about anime and storytelling. Just so this channel isn't just anime, it just isn't just film, but people can come here to learn about storytelling in general or philosophy or just have open ears to fun conversations and such. So I like to weave different ideas and concepts and subjects into all my discussions, philosophy definitely being one of those. If not in Hunter x Hunter, I suppose, say, like One Piece will definitely give me the chance too, because that's an essential component to One Piece is desire and materialism. I just want to wait for there to be appropriate context to actually devote a few minutes to that discussion. If Leorio's desire for money, Gon's desires, or Kurapika's desires, will be explored more on a philosophical level, then I can spill some of my beliefs out with that context. Speaking of desires, materials, treasures, Killua probably had the best line of the episode. I forgot to write down the direct quote in my notes, but Killua argues real treasure can't be bought if you can't obtain uh this game with ease, one that only requires money to be yours, then you can't and shouldn't consider yourself any pro hunter worth writing home about. You're bottom of the barrel, essentially. You're a hunter and can't even acquire something as simple as money, an item that all it takes is having enough money for the price tag and it's yours. You can't call something that easy and that basic a treasure. And if you can't even do that, don't be lumping yourself in with the other actual pro hunters by calling yourself one. Remember, I was talking about Jing knows exactly the barriers to entry and obstacles his son would have to maneuver through in order to find him. That's the whole point. He's testing his son. He doesn't want to see him because he doesn't want to confront that shame of abandoning his son, but he also doesn't want to see his son. He isn't ready and capable enough to find him. Should Gon even deserve to find his dad and get his hands on Greed Island if he's struggling this hard with something as petty as money? That's how I see it or interpret it. And then it was funny how Killua thinks Leorio must be an enhancer alongside Gon because he too is a simple fool. Hey, see? Everybody has their own personality analyses, okay? I feel pretty good about my in-depth personality analysis that I spent maybe a half hour talking about. It keeps getting reinforced. Though we know Leorio is an emitter, so Killua was wrong in his assumption. He'll find out whenever the hell Leorio actually decides to learn then. I just like to say I predicted Leorio was an emitter before I even knew or before I was even told. But I actually don't really have much to discuss about the arm wrestling competition. Shocking. Yorknew City, packed like sardines, a full crowd of easily manipulatable people, ready, eager, prepared to burn their cash and catch their, what did Leorio say, financial dream, whatever words Leorio was spewing. Essentially, all these schmucks here are ripe for the picking, like taking candy from a baby. Take advantage of all these deluded, naive people here with fat wallets. Killua has been degraded, resorted to being the group's showcase girl, literally just standing there looking like one of the models from The Price is Right or Deal or No Deal or something, holding a diamond in his hands, displaying it to the public. That's his one job, while Gon does all the work and Leorio is the theatrical announcer. Love how Gon is unsure about them conning all these people in the first place out of easy money, which is so ironic. Like, get that morality out of here. It don't belong in this show. That shit don't exist here. Shrug it off. Get your mind right. There are no morals. There ain't no good. There ain't no bad, no evil, no virtue. Just things people do. That's simple. Keep getting this money, boy. The highlight, of course, was Shizuku versus Gon. Shizuku, my girl. A big crush on Shizuku. Waifu. I knew she was going to lose because she does not come across as an enhancer to me. She's too quiet and timid to be an enhancer. So going up against Gon, not only an enhancer, but a 1 in 10 million or whatever the hell Wing said. Also, we're calling back to, what the hell is his name? I always get his names mixed up because his name in the anime is a different name than in the manga or the original anime. Mizukin, telling Kurapika it is very hard to defeat an enhancer outright. So going up against Gon, 1 in 10 million, an enhancer, in something like an arm wrestling match, a simple, straightforward performance of strength, it don't matter if you're Phantom Troupe. I don't believe you could beat him. Even if he was using his full strength and Shizuku was using her right arm instead of her left, which I don't really know what that signifies, either like something special about her left arm or it's simply her dominant arm. But beating Gon also wouldn't be too surprising. This kid literally just learned the basics of Nen. He hasn't even developed his own abilities yet. Well, you, Phantom Troupe Spider, have perfected your craft. Like, that's nothing to be so braggadocious about if you would win. So, like she said, she wishes to challenge him again. She knows him now. She's remembered his face. They're keeping tabs with how strong and impressive he was. Obviously, this is going to come up again. She wishes to challenge him again. I look forward to seeing her hyped up capabilities, but I more so want to see Gon's potential when he really needs to tap into that reservoir of aura energy, and that aura explodes outward like a geyser. Remember how I said Gon should have lost to Hisoka after returning the badge because winning would have otherwise just been detrimental to his character development? Now, I think it can go either way, a fork in the road. I can accept a loss. I can also accept a triumph. I wouldn't be surprised or upset from either conclusion, but I would say now is a good place in his character development for him to start coming out on top, start winning, start getting those triumphs. And then, of course, that line, I forget if it came from Franklin or Feitan. Buying and bidding is wrong. We're thieves. If we really want something, we just take it ourselves. I only bring this up because I found the whole buying and bidding is wrong to be very interesting. Right and wrong implies good or bad, which implies morals. And there are no morals. More specifically, there are no universal morals. Killing can be wrong to Gon, but completely right to Hisoka. Killing in Hunter x Hunter is not wrong overall, though, as we've seen. People die and we just keep going along for the ride. Gon was unsure about conning all these people. But to the Phantom Troupe, buying and bidding is wrong. It goes against their ideologies, their morals. If Shizuku really wanted that diamond, she would have just walked up to all three of them, killed them, and took it for herself. Because that is what killers and thieves do. That is why she is a spider. I just thought that was a really interesting, subtle line there. It really expands the concept of individuality that I believe Hunter x Hunter really tries to more uniquely and indirectly explore individuality. A character I'm not feeling too good about is Milluki. Milluki apparently can't jailbreak or access the Greed Island game, despite having rebuilt the entire game from the ground up using that memory card he was given. So he does have extreme technological prowess to get that task done. But we know the game is imbued, injected, embedded with Nen. Nen is required to access the game because we know it sucks you into the game itself. So if he may have rebuilt the game, but he is missing the crucial piece, the final piece to the puzzle, the Nen from the creators needed for the game to even start. That, and to my present knowledge, Milluki may not even know Nen. I have not been shown or told yet, and don't spoil anything for me, that would lend me to believe if Milluki even is a Nen user. We know Illumi is. I don't know about Milluki, and Milluki or Illumi and the rest of the family don't even know that Killua is now. See? So both of these possibilities together more than explain why all that effort ended up being a futile waste of time. When I say I don't feel good about him, I said it before. When someone becomes that obsessed over anything, judgments get clouded. They don't think rationally. Self preservation even sometimes goes out the window. He wants that game so bad. He's going to that auction that not only involves the Mafia, but the Phantom Troupe for a game that involves master hunters that won't take too kindly to someone trying to destroy the game. Milluki is an assassin, so he has some skill, but don't know if he's a Nen user. But he is also a Zoldyck. What if someone finds that out? I'm sure the Phantom Troupe or Mafia would be glad to hold a Zoldyck hostage or kill him, especially if I believe someone like Silva has killed a Phantom Troupe member and probably killed members of the Mafia too. And I don't even know the relationship dynamics between, say, Phantom Troupe, Mafia, and Zoldicks. They all kind of operate in that whole underground realm. And as much as Killua and Milluki have a fractured, complicated relationship, we know nothing has been stressed more in the Zoldyck household than the importance of family and family coming first above all. Literally, that's the core to me thinking Illumi is manipulating Killua and Silva counting on his son returning. So if Milluki gets in trouble or danger, I don't necessarily think Milluki will die. I think he might end up bad place, bad time. Wrong place, wrong time. Killua will likely try to save or protect his brother, his family. So Milluki leaving the house for the first time in like a decade, crazed about this game, emotionally fired up. It's just a volatile, unpredictable situation, and I wouldn't be shocked to see something happen. That's all. To contrast that omen, Milluki had the funniest scene this episode to me. There is no better example so far exemplifying how funny and unique the comedy is in a world without morals than a son asking his father for 15 billion Jenny in exchange for killing 15 people for him. 1 billion a pop. I would get $10 here, $20 there from my parents when I was a kid for mowing the lawn or vacuuming the house, and I'd use that to help buy a new Xbox 360 game or go out to the movies with my friends so I could afford the ticket and some popcorn. We do know in real life there are such things as murder for hire and people like hitmen. These people exist and these things take place. People get whacked, assassinated in real life. The mafia is a real thing. Just like, hey, I'll give you 100K if you take out this guy clean for me on some like dark web creepy stuff. That is not hilarious, but it's almost fascinating how hilarious it is to see and hear these Cheeto Puff Fingers, sweaty, disheveled kid asking his dad, almost like it's a chore, that if he kills 15 people for him, can he borrow a quick 15 billion while he goes out? That's just like a pure quintessential reason of many why I love Hunter x Hunter. But going back to serious, like, man, Hunter x Hunter knows how to dance between comedy and drama. I enjoy how serious the Phantom Troupe take themselves and how serious the show takes the Phantom Troupe, and all culminated, the show takes itself seriously. I've never really enjoyed when comic relief just has to pop up where it doesn't belong or shouldn't be seen, specifically with antagonists and otherwise dramatic, serious, emotional atmosphere. Like, why can't an atmosphere remain heavy? Why can't you let audiences remain uneasy in their seats? Why does every character have to have a punchline, moment, or joke or laugh track? Okay. Disney takes that way too far to the point I stop watching. For anime, Samurai Champloo does this perfectly. There were distinct, tight, narrow spaces where Mugen and even Jin displayed subtle, mature comic relief. You don't see Tetsuo slipping on a banana peel or tripping over his cape in Akira. When Zoro unsheaths his trio of swords, when Luffy dips his head down and the shadow crosses over his eyes, when Gohan fights for Goku's life, or vice versa, when the Nine Tails chakra unleashes from Naruto. These are moments for drama and emotion exclusively. I love Trigun. I just recently finished Trigun. It is no doubt one of my favorite anime. Its emotional philosophical impact was fucking profound. But it took maybe like 3, 4, maybe even 5 episodes for the story, by extension me, to begin taking Vosh seriously and start stepping away from his silliness and quirkiness and actually convey the idea that this Vash Stampede, a master gunslinger, and he is a master gunslinger, and finally dive into those dark emotional depths of his soul. And that's when the story became not only interesting but unforgettable. He was a multi-dimensional character, of course. I'm just giving an example of where sometimes writers go back and forth too quickly or too often and kind of ruins or strips away that vibe or that mood or that atmosphere you wish you could have held on to or stayed in a little bit longer. And of course, this is all personal preference. It's all subjective. I have my own tastes and preferences, everybody else does. So it's all to anybody's palate. Like taking pasta or rice out too early, or adding sugar to a dish instead of salt, or ingredients that don't belong. This was the first encounter not only Gon has had, but our entire entourage of characters with actual real Phantom Troupe members, face to face, spiders. And to me, it was handled perfectly. Almost exactly how you'd expect it to happen. Between the arm wrestling match and the dialogue free shots of Hisoka with everyone else, the chanting angelic music tied to the dramatic lighting creates an intense, compelling, heavy weighted atmosphere. And we stay there. But you can't exactly place your finger on anything, and there's no feeling of fear or anticipation or anxiety, which kind of makes it cooler. Finally, though, let's end the discussion with a dense breakdown into Kurapika and Melody. I love dialogue. Whoa, what a revelation that is for me to tell you. Who knew I love dialogue? This was some of the best. As closed book as Kurapika likes to portray himself and thinks that he is, a heartbeat always tells the truth, and Melody can read him like a coloring book. Though Kurapika can likewise tell the truth through the eyes. I feel like that will lend to them becoming close with each other on the same wavelength and knowing when the two are truthful and good. And in that, you saw a smile on Kurapika's face. Huge. Turns out, just as I guessed correctly, Melody is indeed a hunter, a music hunter. Exactly what I predicted she might be a few episodes ago. We finally get her lore and her backstory, and man, is that some excellent creative storytelling. Okay? Some aspects I think I managed to guess correct, many things I couldn't have possibly imagined. So, to summarize, out there exists the Dark Sonata, a musical score said to have been written and composed by the devil himself. Composed into 4 versions, I believe. 4 different instruments: the piano, the violin, the flute, the harp. Melody reveals her arm to Kurapika, which we only see as a shadowed silhouette to maintain its mystery to us. But we can see what looks to me like severe, severe burns. Or if any of you have watched Game of Thrones, looks a lot like Grayscale. Particularly recall Jorah Mormont, who was heavily disfigured by it. Kind of looks like that. If you don't know, in musical composition, the term movement simply means like a smaller, identifiable, unique piece that can be played on its own, but is ultimately a part of a much larger total composition. Like, take Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. Everybody ought to know it. Like the bum 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 bum. That thing, that iconic fast tempo boisterous beginning, is the first of four movements that make up the entire composition. Melody's ears were only exposed to a single movement of the total score, and it was the flute version. What I gather myself, Melody's friend played the sheet music, to which she died. Her entire body succumbing to disfigurement, what only had time or exposure to spread up Melody's arm. The score is a curse, clearly. It might be a beautiful composition, yet it ironically strips the beauty from those who hear it played. And those who dare play the score themselves, to play such a composition, you pay with your life. Playing any of the four versions, no matter how much, it seems you perish as a result. By just hearing a single movement, Melody was cursed and punished that severely. Had she heard it all, her body too would have likely been engulfed entirely as well. Perhaps not killed, as she merely listened to it, but fully disfigured. It is a composition composed by the devil after all. I would love there to be the idea that the devil created, in fact, a beautiful piece of music. So, in order to play it too, to play such a beautiful piece, it is the last piece you get to play, and you are sent to hell alongside the devil. That is the ultimate curse for the ultimate piece of music. And to merely find yourself in the presence of the score sound, maybe the most beautiful instrumentation you've ever heard, the curse strips that same beauty from you, and you must now live without beauty. I don't know. If I was creative enough to come up with an idea like that, if writing my own story, I would think of something along those lines. And then I wonder if each version delivers a different curse, or if they're all the same. Like, being a curse after all, most curses are such that you receive some sort of consolation prize, almost a gift, power, something you get to live with, that empowers you, but forced to remember you only have as a result of your misfortune. Melody, I still want to theorize, was once a normal, beautiful young woman, a beautiful, young, talented musician and music hunter. Her soft spoken, youthful voice hinting at her previous self in my eyes. She was then cursed, stripped of her beauty, but gifted with this ability tied to her being. Now, able to hear the songs the heartbeats of others play. The flute version maybe gives her rodent-like features. I only say that because of her teeth, her pale skin, lack of hair, um, strips away her beauty and gives her that ability. While the other three versions may do something different, or they are all the same. Who knows? I can only imagine what would happen if the score in its entirety was played with all four versions in unison together. You trigger just an absolutely horrifying event. Countless people die, like a fucking natural disaster or something, or Lucifer rises from hell or some shit. Like, damn. Talk about music, that would be metal as fuck. Melody not only rightfully wishes she can find a way of reversing the curse and restoring her body, she also wants to track down that sheet music, all copies of it, and destroy them all, so that no one else ends up like her or dies like her friend. She is willing to do anything for that goal. just as Kurapika is willing to do anything for revenge. So I'm sure he respects her greatly for that. Similar to how Luffy respects anyone who goes in with 100% resolve to risk their own life for somebody or something, and sees Melody in a much fonder, admirable light. Someone that maybe he can trust. Melody's goal might actually arguably be the most unselfish, noble we know so far, except for Leorio. We know his story. I imagine if she does ever manage to accomplish that feat of hers, she would lose that ability as well, which I'm sure she would gladly give up in exchange for her health, youth, and beauty back. And then, right as the episode is about to close out, we are told the auction is officially commencing. It all goes down next episode then. Oh boy. This literally reminds me of Game of Thrones. Let me clarify, the good first 4 or 5 seasons. Like when you were watching, the build up, the feeling of I'm about to witness imminent death. Which characters are we losing? And mass destruction we're about to witness when we get those season climactic battles, the likes of Hardhome, Battle of the Bastards, fucking Blackwater. No more time for calm, heartfelt, vulnerable conversations. No more time to hang out with friends. It's kill or be killed. Survival of the fittest. We're losing people. The compassionate characters of ours must put that notion aside and get those claws out. Yet, before all that happens, next episode, onward, let's not forget that moment, again, just a glimmer of the old Kurapika we've previously known, and our 3 other companions have known. A brief glimpse of an old but familiar, and faint smile that gives an equal amount of hope that Kurapika has not become entirely consumed by his hate and his lust for blood and vengeance, that the light of his friends and those he may come to trust can push back against said darkness. But that is, I think, a perfect place to end today's discussion. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button to let me know actually does go a long way. And if you haven't already, subscribing to stay in the loop really means a whole lot to me and helps this channel grow. Keep the conversation going in the comments so I can connect with you even more. And remember, Jughead's Journey members get early access and exclusive content over on my Patreon. Having said all that, and with that said, so long, farewell, until next time, thank you, stay happy, and I hope you have a good one.